Nightline with me, Yusuf Shukri. Here are our headlines for tonight. Hospital bombing triggers global solidarity with Palestine. Malaysia's real GDP is expected to rise in 2024. And GPS named its candidate for the upcoming Jepak by-election. Malaysia's real gross domestic product GDP is expected to grow by 4.3% in 2024, up from the 4.0% growth projected for 2023. According to the International Monetary Fund (IMF), the positive outlook is driven by higher global export demand, particularly from the technology sector.
IMF's Asia-Pacific Regional Studies Division Chief Shanaka Paris said Malaysia is a very open economy, especially in the export of electrical and electronics (E&E) products. On Malaysia's inflation, he said it has been gradually slowing, but the subsidy reforms tabled in Budget 2024 would pose some risks to that. Nonetheless, he reckons that the subsidy reforms would be a one-off event and that it would be unnecessary for additional measures from the Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM). Shanaka said the IMF's recommendation for Malaysia in the last report showed that the monetary policy should be restrictive enough to bring the inflation down towards the 2 to 3% range over the medium term.
Over in Sarawak, Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS has officially named the former director of the National Anti-Drug Agency AADK Sarawak, Iskandar Turki, as its candidate for the Jepak by-election. The announcement was made by Sarawak Premier, GPS Chairman Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng, who is also the president of Parti Pesaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB, at the candidate announcement ceremony held at a hotel in Bintulu earlier today.
According to Abang Johari, 54-year-old Iskandar was selected following thorough verification with the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), Royal Malaysia Police (PDRM), as well as the Insolvency Department.
Dan hari ini saya dengan sukacitanya mengumumkanlah calon kita dari PBB yang mewakili GPS dalam pilihan raya kecil. Beliau yang saya masukkan ialah Encik Iskandar bin Turki. Encik Iskandar bukan orang lain dengan Jepak, lahir di situ juga, dan juga mempunyai pengalaman. Umurnya sedang tua, tak juga muda juga. Tak juga. Umur lebih kurang 54 tahun dan mempunyai pengalaman. Beliau tak silap saya pengarah ADK Sarawak. Dan sekarang memanglah dah resign lah, effective today.
Abang Johari emphasised Iskandar's commitment to continue the works initiated by the late Datuk Talib Zulkifli, the former Jepak incumbent, together with the Jepak community to ensure ongoing and future development in Jepak as well as the broader Bintulu division through 2030.
Bintulu itu lah kawasan yang cepat membangun. Pernah saya katakan dalam konvensyen PBB apa yang telah kita rancangkan dan seluruhnya apa yang kita laksanakan hingga ke tahun 2030. Lepasnya 2030 terus membangunlah. Yang penting ialah asasnya. Dan Datuk Talib pernah cerita dengan saya yang ada mendapat petulung yang ke Kuching. Kena Kuching ada bandar, ada Kuching, ada Petrajaya. Jadi kata begitu dulu dapat pola kedaian juga sebelah Kampung Jepak yang jadi Petrajaya. Sebabnya ya, saya gini-gini pun saya mesti mula jembatan kita ya, untuk menyelamatkan kita. mahal.
For the record, Iskandar is also a panel member of Sarawak Social Council and is a committee member of the One-Stop Committee tackling drug issue in Sarawak, as well as the Malaysia Anti-Drug Association Pemadam Sarawak. So far, 2 other Sarawak-based political parties have confirmed their participation in the by-election. Parti Aspirasi Rakyat Sarawak, Aspirasi, has put forward Bintulu businessman Ching Lia Ping, aged 64, as its candidate, while Parti Bumi Kenyalang PBK has renominated 42-year-old businessman Stevenson Joseph Sumbang from Cebu to contest the seat. Notably, Parti Sarawak Bersatu, PSB, Pakatan Harapan PH, and Parti Bangsa Dayak Sarawak, PBDS, have all decided to sit out the by-election.
On to our next headline. The world was shocked late last night after the Al Ahli Arab Hospital was struck by Israel, killing about 500 innocent lives. The attack triggered various protests throughout the world, including one in New York, even after US President Joe Biden made a solid stance with Israel. Hence, it was inevitable that protesters in support of Palestine would be faced with resistance from those supporting Israel.
Just like 2 hours before, the IDF bombed a hospital right there, causing like over than 800 people die. It's a hospital. What do you got to do? Like, why are you bombing a hospital? There's no Hamas right there. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, why are you bombing a hospital? It's just like they have just patients and people who injured from the bombing that's caused like weeks till days. So I don't know what the hell that's happening right there. I'm sorry, I probably...
In Libya, several hundred took to the streets, chanting slogans in support of those who were killed after the attack. Israeli and American flags were visibly burned during the protests.
نحن مطالبنا فقط من حكام العرب. أنا لا أطلب من الغرب أو كذا، أطلب من حكام العرب أن يوقفوا وقف. لا أنصاف الحلول، لا أنصاف الكلمات. نحن ندين وندين. أن يطلبوا قطع العلاقات مع العدو الصهيوني.
Even more congregated in the southern Philippines, where thousands painted their cheeks in Palestinian colors. Many were seen deep in prayer, some shedding tears in the process. They called upon the United Nations, UN, and the Arab countries to allow aid to be channeled to the Palestinians who have been struggling for the past 11 days since the conflict erupted.
Tawagan tayo na sana ay buksan ng mga kapatid natin ng mga Arabo yung borders para sabi nilang for humanity, no? Humanitarian purposes, no? Makakain, makainom, makakuha ng gamot yung mga Palestinian.
Ito pong pagpupulong po na ito pong rally na ito ay para maipakita po natin na ang mga katauhan po dito sa particular sa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao ay nakikiisa at nakikisimpatya po sa mga kaguluhan na nagaganap po sa Palestine.
Similar protests can be seen globally in countries such as Morocco, Tunisia, Lebanon, Jordan, and more. Meanwhile, in France, a lawyer has filed a case to overturn a ruling that bans all demonstrations that are pro-Palestine in nature. Vincent Brengarth believes that the ban goes against the country's constitution and international stance.
Aujourd'hui, se référer parce que nous considérons que l'interdiction systématique des manifestations pro-palestiniennes est parfaitement contraire à la Constitution, à notre législation et à nos engagements internationaux. Donc, par conséquent, nous demandons à ce que cette décision prise par Gérald Darmanin puisse être suspendue.
High-ranking officers from the European Union and United Nations have each issued their responses after the hospital strike. Though it was clear that the missile was fired by the occupancy forces, EU President Ursula von der Leyen said facts of the strike must be clearly established and those responsible must be held accountable.
All facts need to be established and those responsible must be held accountable. In this tragic hour, we must all redouble our efforts to protect civilians from the fury of this war.
Ursula also stated that the EU stands in solidarity with Israel, while saying that there is an urgent need to address the humanitarian needs of Palestine. Meanwhile, the UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, in a video message said the horrendous incident is an act that goes against all values of human rights. He called upon all countries across the globe to do everything in their capacity to help resolve the conflict and prevent more innocent casualties.
Hospitals are sacrosanct, and they must be protected at all costs. We don't yet know the full scale of this carnage, but what is clear is that the violence and killing must stop at once. All states with influence must do everything in their power to bring an end to this horrendous situation. Civilians must be protected and humanitarian aid must be allowed in to reach those in need as a matter of urgency. Those found responsible must be held to account.
On to more state updates. Higher learning institutions play a pivotal role in amplifying division and shaping attitudes towards cultural diversity. According to Deputy Minister for Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Datuk Snowden Lawan, this can be exemplified by Swinburne Sarawak's dedication showcased by its inaugural Good Design Week 2023 in efforts to safeguard cultural heritage.
Higher learning institutions play a pivotal role in safeguarding cultural and heritage. They not only contribute to the intellectual and social enrichment of participants, but also play a crucial role in shaping societal norms, policies, and attitude towards cultural diversity and heritage. The ripple effect of this conference extend beyond the event, influencing the broader society, future generation, and fostering a world marked by respect, understanding, and appreciation for the rich tapestry of human culture.
He also stressed the importance of having open and ongoing collaboration between the government and institution in bridging the gap and identifying opportunities in the creative industry. As such, Good Design Week 2023 can be seen as a space where co-creation between institutions of higher learning, artists, communities, and stakeholders, fostering a sense of diversity in arts and culture. Theme Culture Preservation and Governance, GDE 2023, an initiative by Swinburne Sarawak School of Design and Arts, held by October 18th to 20th at the campus and Imperial Hotel Kuching as a platform for students, academics, and creative industries communities to share their best practices in preserving arts, culture, and heritage. In the same event, creative industry artists who were exhibitors at the Swinburne Good Design Week 2023 shared their aspirations in unpacking the challenges of preserving and promoting their respective arts through the program. From Sabah, Cantik Borneo designer Reddick Bradley aims to highlight that traditional motifs can also turn contemporary via everyday wear.
So we are here to promote that we can customize the design for your needs, like if you need the textile design, like an ethnic motif style. So we're here for that. So the objective is like we want to promote our beautiful motif through our like everyday wear, like this one you can see here. The experiences is quite okay from the students. They ask a lot of questions about our designs, like how we approach in how to do the custom design, and some of them are like really interested in like taking in an internship with us.
For founder of Pungu Borneo, Lucille Awen John, she hopes that the youth who attend can seek inspiration from producers of heritage products.
So basically, we are encouraging and empowering a lot of young entrepreneurs, designers, artisans, local artisans, indigenous communities. So with this platform, the Good Design Week platform, we wish we could inspire more youth, more younger generation to be involved with heritage, traditional heritage products, acts or program in a way that we need to revive back our traditional heritage. So as a company that work together with a lot of heritage products, community, we wish to see more younger generation to be the leader of this heritage and traditional arts and crafts.
GDW 2023 is sponsored by Business Events Sarawak. Interested parties are invited as event sponsors and exhibitors to promote their cultural-related crafts and services to a broader audience during the event.
On to our next update, 1,721 prisoners in Sarawak were jailed for offences related to drug and substance abuse. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, said the aforementioned statistics are for the period between January to September of 2023.
Dan jumlah ini menunjukkan peningkatan sebanyak 22.58% berbanding dengan tempoh yang sama tahun 2022. So there is an increase drug-related cases, kesalahan berkaitan aktiviti penyalahgunaan dadah dan substance. So di penjara tu, kalau kita buat analisis, kita dapati bahawa in fact majoritinya tuan, can we say it's more than 60%?
Dalam 50%.
50%.
She added that since January, 8,984 arrests were made through 6,088 operations conducted by the Royal Malaysia Police Narcotics Crime Investigation Department, Royal Malaysia Customs Department and the National Anti-Drugs Agency Sarawak. Of those arrests, Kuching recorded the most arrests with 2,001, followed by Sibu with 1,009, Miri with 972, Bintulu with 758 and Samarahan with 469. In the meantime, she said in order to ensure released prisoners are rehabilitated, the committee members of the One-Stop Committee to Address Drug and Substance Abuse, OSC MIDS Sarawak, will continue collaborating to provide access to social services. At the same time, she called on all parties to work together to eradicate drug and substance abuse activities in Sarawak.
Five food premises in Kota Samarahan received their certificates of appreciation in conjunction with the Clean Food Premises and Toilets program organised by the Padawan Municipal Council MPP. And its chairman, Tan Kai, said the program is part of efforts to cultivate cleanliness, especially when it comes to serving food.
All selected premises were chosen from 185 food premises who retained their Grade A rating for 2 years in a row from 2021 to 2022.
Pertandingan ini juga mencari pendekatan proaktif MPP mendekati pengusaha kedai kopi dan teh agar menjaga kebersihan premis masing-masing. Dengan pelaksanaan program ini, objektif pihak majlis dalam memastikan premis makanan dan tandas premis di kawasan MPP sentiasa mengekalkan tahap kebersihan premis makanan dan keselamatan makanan dapat dicapai.
He said this during the program's award-giving ceremony in Padawan. Meanwhile, in the 2023 edition of the contest, 187 food premises were rated as Grade B. However, only 9 premises managed to fulfill the set criteria for the contest. They include the cleanliness of the food and drinks preparation area, toilet, serving area, hygiene of employees, as well as other license and health requirements.
Welcome back. Good and effective governance takes precedence before the government even considers reintroducing the Goods and Service Tax, or GST. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said that this is necessary to weed out corruption and to combat leakages, noting that the tax implementation should only be considered after taking into account its impact on both the economy and the people.
The issue of governance must take precedence. Then we talk about whether the government shows enough concern and care. I wouldn't deny the fact that Malaysia has got exceptional in this, as all governments in the past do give major consideration to the welfare of the urban poor to an extent, the rural poor relatively much better, but the leakages are horrendous. Because taxation is something that is essential only if it is deemed to be so critical. So discussion whether VAT or GST, it is relevant, but don't ever forget the fact that this country has inherited, frankly, a major problem of governance, of endemic corruption, which is even systemic. You know the figures about debt, deficit, which we have to grapple with, not because the economy has lost its capacity to grow or the fundamentals are considered to be weak, but because the way we govern.
He said this during his speech at the symposium The Path Towards Greater Prosperity for Malaysia in Putrajaya Convention Centre on Wednesday. Anwar, who is also the finance minister, welcomes open discussion and encouraged critical engagement from various stakeholders, including discussions on government policies. However, he emphasized that the primary objective should be on good governance practices rather than pointing out past mistakes.
The police have confirmed the arrest of one of the co-founders of the financially troubled low-cost carrier My Airline, Sendirian Berhad, on Wednesday. Director of the Commercial Crimes Investigation Department at Bukit Aman, Datuk Seri Ramli Muhammad Yusof, confirmed the arrest of Datuk Allen Goh Huan Hua, who is also the primary shareholder of the local airline. And additionally, the police also detained Goh's wife, Niao Yin Lee, aged 55, and their son, Goh Zihan, aged 26. All three have been remanded for 4 days to assist in the ongoing investigations related to the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of the Unlawful Activities Act 2001. And earlier, local media reported that the trio was arrested in Shah Alam, and My Airline abruptly ceased all operations on October 12th, citing financial issues which left thousands of passengers stranded. A total of 230 new telco towers have been built out of the planned 864 towers under the National Digital Network Jendela in Sarawak as of the second quarter Q2 of 2023. Deputy Communications and Digital Minister Teo Ni Ching said the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) has also utilized satellite technology to expand internet coverage in remote areas, with 523 locations now enjoying internet services through broadband wireless access. Additionally, 4G coverage in populated areas in Sarawak has reached 87.52%.
Teo said 3,689 out of 3,735 transmitters have also been upgraded, while over 100,000 premises have been provided with optical fiber access. She added that under the Jendela initiative, MCMC is working to provide internet services in areas lacking coverage using various technologies. Meanwhile, the 2 Point of Presence POP Phase 1 projects are fully completed in the Igan Parliamentary Constituency.
Untuklah projek Point of Presence, untuk maklumat Datuk Speaker dan juga ahli yang berhormat, untuk Point of Presence fasa 1 melibatkan 60 projek di seluruh Sarawak, 2 projek di kawasan Parlimen Igan dan semua itu sudah dilaksanakan, sudah siap, sudah komplit. Bagi fasa 2 untuk seluruh Sarawak, projek yang keseluruhannya adalah 681 site dan setakat ini yang siap adalah 6, yang bakinya tarikh siap pelaksanaan adalah 31 Oktober 2025 secara berperingkat. Untuk kawasan Parlimen Igan, 16 projek telah disenaraikan dan mengikutlah kontraktor, mereka percaya bahawa dalam tahun ini mereka dapatlah menyiapkan beberapa projek untuk kawasan Parlimen Igan.
Over on world news, at least 3 people were killed in a Russian overnight strikes on Ukraine's Zaporizhia and Dnipropetrovsk region on Wednesday morning. Ukrainian officials said 2 were killed in a missile strike that hit a residential building in the southeastern city of Zaporizhia, while a 31-year-old woman was killed in a strike on a town just outside the city of Dnipro.
Zaporizhia's governor Yuri Malashko reported that Russia launched 6 missile attacks on the city, causing severe damages to the targeted residential building between 1:33 a.m. and 1:48 a.m. local time. The strike in Zaporizhia caused extensive destruction, with at least 3 people missing. Meanwhile, in Dnipropetrovsk, the attack destroyed 8 buildings, killing 1 woman and injuring 4 others. These attacks occurred following Ukraine's announcement of using U.S. long-range attacker missiles against Russia and Kiev's claim of responsibility for destructive strikes on airfields in Russian-held territories.
Amidst tensions on its own border, Russian President Vladimir Putin has recognized the relentless bombing by Israel of the Al Ahli Arab Hospital in Palestine as a catastrophe for mankind. The Wednesday strike should be heeded by all parties as a sign to end the war as soon as possible.
Что касается удара по, как вы сказали, по госпиталю, трагедии, которая там произошла, это ужасное событие. Но сотни убитых и сотни раненых, это, конечно, катастрофа.
On the conflicts in the Middle East as well as between Russia and Ukraine, Putin said they have fostered a closer bond between his home country and China.
Все эти внешние факторы – это общие угрозы, и они укрепляют российско-китайское взаимодействие.
And finally, a Belgian court on Wednesday gave an 11-year jail sentence to the leader of a gang accused of helping smuggle some 10,000 people to Britain in small boats. 30-year-old Hewa Rahimpour, originally from Iran, was guilty of overseeing the operation that stretched across Europe from Turkey to Belgium and France. Described previously as a small boats kingpin by British authorities, he was one of the 20 defendants sentenced for their part in the smuggling ring.
The UK's National Crime Agency seized 60 boats and hundreds of life jackets from a warehouse in Germany used by the criminal operation run by Rahimpour from his house in east of London. Rahimpour was eventually arrested in May last year and was extradited to Belgium, where he stood trial in Bruges. A judge has now found him guilty and sentenced him to 11 years in prison. Another 19 people were convicted alongside him and handed jail terms of between 30 months and 8 years. Rahimpour's case has drawn media attention in Britain, where the Conservative government has been struggling to stop migrants crossing the channel in small boats. More than 100,000 migrants have crossed the channel on small boats, launched from France and landing in southeast England since Britain began publicly recording the arrivals in 2018.
And that's all the time we have for tonight's TVS Nightline. Once again, I'm Yusuf Shukri. Thank you for watching. Good night and have a good rest.